Today I'm going to show you how to make a wooden planter stand from readily available materials with minimal tools. Anyone can build this stand as long as they have the following: a power drill, a 1/2-inch drill bit, any kind of saw, any kind of wood glue, a tape measure, painter's tape or masking tape, a pencil, and a chisel, or if you don't have a chisel, a pocket knife and a screwdriver. First, check out your local hardware store and buy some dowel rods. Dowel rods are great for beginner projects because you don't need any large woodworking tools like a planer, joiner, or table saw to mill them to size. You can buy pine or oak dowels. Oak dowels are more expensive because it's a higher quality wood, but pine will also work if you're on a budget. You'll need 2 1-inch dowels and 1 1/2-inch dowel. Using your saw, cut the large dowels in half so you have 4 dowels of the exact same length. Next, cut your smaller dowel to the diameter of your flower pot plus 1 inch. Cut 2 of these pieces. Now we will create the interlocking half-lap joint. Mark the center of the small dowels and then mark a 1/4 inch out on each side. Then mark a 1/4 inch down from the top of the dowel. The penciled out area you see here represents the wood that will be removed. Use your saw to make a cut on each side of the joint. Then make several relief cuts in the center. This will make it easier to remove the waste. Finally, use your chisel to hammer out the waste. If you don't have a chisel, use your pocket knife to make a score line at the bottom of the joint, and then use a flathead screwdriver to clear out the waste. Once the joint overlaps nicely and sits flat, add wood glue and then cover it with painter's tape to hold it together. You can also add a nail for extra security. Let this dry for at least 1 hour. It's very important to let this joint cure and strengthen before you try to assemble it to the rest of the planter. Now, mark where you want the center brace to sit from the top. Mine's going to be about 7 inches from the top. Then use painter's tape to mark a 1/2 inch into your drill bit. This will work as a depth stop so you don't drill too far. Drill 1/2 inch holes on all the legs. Now it's time to assemble. Add glue to each hole and insert the center brace into the drilled holes. Set the planter on a flat surface and make sure that everything is square and that the legs are perpendicular to the ground. Use a wet paper towel to wipe up any glue squeeze out. Let the planter sit. Do not touch it for 2 to 4 hours or even overnight. You don't want to ruin your workpiece by handling it before the glue has fully dried. At this point, you can either paint it or stain it, but I like the look of the oak, so I decided just to add a clear protective coat. Remember, never use flammable spray paints or stains in your basement. The fumes can cause an explosion. Do it outside with lots of ventilation. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed and happy building.